Good morning. This is Carrie reporting live from the mulch pile. And all the neighbors' dogs are in the backyard, so we may get surprise visitors. So today was thinning day in the garden. I've actually never made it to thinning day. It took me 3 years to make peace with pruning day. Oh, here comes the puppy. Come here. Look at all the dogs. Oh my God. They're so sweet. They're these giant, horribly mean looking dogs, and they're so sweet. Okay. This may not work. Hi. I'm just baby. Okay. So, yeah, it took me 3 years to make peace with pruning. I used to think it was brutal, and then I started seeing the results of it, and I was like, oh, I got this. Pruning, no big deal. Thinning is another matter. Thinning is like, it's like these little bitty dudes trying to grow, and so my heart is a little invested in the act of growth. But I was brutal today, and I thinned out the little dudes, and I'll probably see some results. So thinning, let's talk about thinning. I'll speak for my life, because not everybody's life has been thinned, because some people have been working and kicking into high gear this whole time. So I don't want to speak for everyone. I'll speak for my life. My life has been thinned the past few months. My activities, my attention, basically how wide I spread my life has been thinned. My extracurricular activities, my community activities, all those things have been thinned. My schedule has been thinned to only the essential things. And while I wouldn't have chosen these things, the time has been pretty rich to have an experience of just living in essential matters. And I remember my teacher once told me that I kept myself so busy that I didn't even leave room for divine intervention. If magic showed up by my doorstep, I wouldn't even recognize it, because I'd be so busy, because it wasn't on my schedule. And while I knew that about myself, I had never heard it phrased that way. That was the first time it was ever phrased in a way that landed. She said, you don't even leave room for divine intervention. You don't have space for divine intervention. You don't have space for divine intervention in your life. So that sucked, hearing that. And I reorganized my life around that and let some things fall away. And it turned out that it was true. I needed more spaciousness in my life, because spaciousness is where the magic happens. The unplanned magic, like the unplanned dogs in my yard. They're so awesome. So I as we're starting back to work, and slowly, I'm pausing still. I'm just reminding myself to be so careful about what I choose, about how I choose to fill my calendar and how I choose to fill my time. Because how I used to live and how my tendency is, look at my dirty hands. That's awesome. Is to create such a big life, because I like a lot of things and I get excited about a lot of things. So wherever I have my attention is what's thriving, and wherever I don't have my attention is totally suffering. So I'm reminding myself to not leave too big of a life, too spread out, that things suffer when my attention isn't able to be on them. But it's not a good feeling. So I'm trying to live I'm not trying to not live too big for my britches. Like, if my attention can't sustain something, then maybe it doesn't need to be in my life. Because what I realized from all this time at home is that my home life was suffering. Like my roots, my community life wasn't suffering. It's very, very active, colorful, and life-giving community life. But my home life, I didn't have much attention on my home life. And that's a place that's supposed to be nourishing me and fortifying the rest of my activities, then that was suffering. So I am grateful for the opportunity to bring my roots back home and concentrate on home base so that my entire life will be fortified by that, and not the reverse, not get so sparse in my home life and then my community life gets many, many, many tentacled, but not strong tentacles. Like, I don't think that's a great life design. So I'm thankful for the thinning, and I'm reminded to be mindful as we start slowly considering what gets on our calendar for the next phase. Okay. I think that's all I got. Love you guys. Have a good week. Something's got to go, and you don't know what's going to come in. This dog. Really? This is my life. This is so awesome.